the things that I'll like tell him about comedy, and he's like, "What?" Like like, and I don't know why it's so different. I don't know if it's easier if you're in a band with like other people. Is it easier where if if there's four of you in a band, you can kind of have a conversation and say, "I've heard this thing about this promoter or booker or whatever. I think we should like support our colleagues and not book them where or not work with them even." Whereas when you're just like an individual, is it like harder to have those conversations with yourself? And I don't know what it is, but it does feel like, yeah, music people really like club together and fix problems.
There's
Like
not.
we're here, and also there's just not. I mean, I don't know if is there more opportunity in music than at comedy? Like probably not, but like sometimes it feels like there'll be like a club or whatever that that haven't done anything like that. Like they haven't like not been paying acts, but they're just like a bit arsy to work with, like whatever. And comedians are like, wish I could boycott them, but like gig's a gig, like have to make a living, and you're like, fair enough. Like, but it's tough. Music seems like better organized.
Yeah, that's that's true. That they seem to be better business people,
Yeah.
business savvy.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, is that a good thing about comedy that it's not so like business minded? But I don't know. One of the things that I have taken from music is that so Craig, my boyfriend, will go to all of these like air quotes networking events, but the organizers don't make them feel like networking events. And I think that's something that comedy doesn't do at all. And like that like I certainly if you hear the word network, you're like, oh, like I don't want to I don't know how to network, I don't want to network, that sounds awful. But he'll go to like music festivals that are almost like for industry, and they'll do like a whiskey tasting and talk about Scottish artists, and then like they'll have poutine and talk about Canadian artists, and like they do all this really cool getting to know each other stuff. And so so one of the things that we did with Red Bull was that we basically didn't we felt kind of guilty to only support one person, so we invited all the applicants to like a kind of industry day where we invited all the applicants and then gave them kind of first dibs, and then just opened it up to any like act that wanted to come along. And we ended up with like 60 or 70 people in Blackfriars for a full day thing, like a bunch of acts in one room. And we put on like panel talks from like bookers, and we got like a social media creator up from London who works with Red Bull, and we tackled four topics basically. So we did social media, approaching gigs, the Edinburgh Fringe, and writing an hour, and had all these like panel talks, and then just got a pint after. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, it's just like we're trying to not. It's not being shaped as like networking or like learning or like anything. It's like look at all these cool people in a room together who like all want the same thing, which is for Scottish comedy to be the best it can possibly be. And it was like such a lovely day, and we drank so much Red Bull. Like Red Bull like kitted it out, and we had like speakers, and like there's fridges everywhere, you could help yourself to Red Bull. At one point Red Bull said, hey, we actually don't promote overconsumption, and I was like, okay, because we've all had like 3 Red Bulls each, we're having a great day. But it was amazing, and like and everyone learned so much, and we like recorded it, and I got sent notes out to everyone after, and like but yeah, that was completely stolen from music because Craig goes to these events all the time, and they're all Creative Scotland funded, and like they get funding, they put on good events, they all network, Skillshare, and then work together after it. Where like comedy has like an artist bar at the Fringe, where no one wants to talk about work. You're like there to have a good time.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Like I just don't think there's much like networking in comedy.
And yeah, I also hear a lot of conversations with people that run music bars or whatever. They would talk about you being paid, whilst a lot. I know sometimes venues try and approach me, and they say that one of them said straight away, so how much are you gonna pay? Like they heard about me and they want to put on a show, and they said, how much are you willing to pay to put on a show? The first thing he said,
Oh
I said straight away, I don't do that, mate. Sorry. And
no.
he looked a bit surprised by that, but in music, I hear it seems to be the other
Mm.
way. They try and pay you.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I'm gonna ask Craig about that. Yeah, because I wonder. I know that because so my boyfriend works for like a promoter, but it's linked to a club in Edinburgh, and they do sometimes have like venue hires, I guess. So it's like that he'll put on gigs, so he'll approach a band and say, "Do you want to perform here?" And then they'll work out like he'll offer them a fee. But I guess some people do like room hires, but it's maybe like you'd hope you I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know if the room hires is just what he calls them, or whether people are actually like paying 100 quid to rent the venue and then and then taking all their ticket money.
Yeah,
But yeah, if someone like I feel like if a venue approaches you, they can't then ask you how much you're going to pay.